Federal judge in the state of Minnesota is refusing to temporarily block tactics that were used by ICE, even though that same judge called some of their methods racially biased. Here's Ian on what all the judge had to say and what comes next.
I have proposed, and President Trump has concurred, that this surge operation conclude.
Nearly 1 month ago today, federal officials announced the drawdown of federal officers in Minnesota, a key point to ending Operation Metro Surge. And now that the end is happening, we're learning more about problems that happened during the operation.
Pursue justice and accountability for Minnesotans who've been harmed by the federal government's unlawful policies.
The ACLU of Minnesota filed a lawsuit in January alleging that Minnesotans had their rights violated by federal agents during Metro Surge. ACLU Minnesota staff attorney Catherine Allen Halverson says they were looking for a judge to stop policies they say were unconstitutional. While U.S. District Judge Eric Tostrud didn't stop those policies in an order issued Monday, he did write that ICE likely used unconstitutional policies.
The court found that Minnesotans have been stopped by federal agents solely because of their race and ethnicity, not for any lawful immigration purpose.
Tostrud says multiple times in this order that plaintiffs were stopped and detained solely based on their race or ethnicity.
This is a judge that says we know this has been past behavior, rights have been violated in the past.
Tostrud writes that this was denied because there isn't an immediate risk of being affected by these policies now that agents have largely left Minnesota. U of M political science and law professor Tim Johnson says that's an important step to clear, but adds that Tostrud's language will likely be cited going forward.
Would certainly point to this and say all of these judges in past cases are saying this is happening and it's happening to my client as well.
1 month since the end of the surge, with repercussions still ongoing.
Brave Minnesotans standing up for their rights and for the rights of others makes a difference.
Now, the ACLU Minnesota attorney tells me that they intend to continue to litigate this case. I did reach out to ICE, but did not hear back. They have previously posted on social media, though, saying that allegations that ICE engages in racial profiling are, quote, disgusting, reckless, and categorically false. Jana.
Well, I guess the judge sees that a different way. We've seen these complaints from people outside of this lawsuit, however, right? Several other ones?
Yes, yeah. Several law enforcement officials spoke back in January about this. That included several police chiefs, St. Paul, Brooklyn Park, Sheriff DeWanna Witt here in Hennepin County. And Brooklyn Park Police Chief Mark Bruley said at the time that some of his officers, who are persons of color, were pulled over by ICE agents, and the agents only left once his officers identified themselves as police.
Officers that were, as you said, people of color. Ian, thank you so much. We'll be right back.